Hi guys, Tomcat here, and I hope you all are having a fantastic day so far. Now, let's get straight into this, because this one is a little bit on the interesting side, and even though this news kind of, it wasn't really news 2 days ago, but it sort of surfaced 2 days ago, let's say. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit of a first for a lot of people, unless you follow the person in question's Instagram. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, the main thing we're going to be talking about in this video is the fact Chris Forsberg confirmed that his car was coming to Forza Motorsport and Torque Drift as well. So if you play Torque Drift, then there's a little bit of info for you there. But the main point we're going to be talking about is Forza. Now, he tagged the Forza Motorsport official Instagram account. He did not tag Playground Games, and he hasn't really said anything about whether or not it's coming into Horizon 4 or just Motorsport. But usually, when these cars come out, they either come out at the same time in both games, or they come out in one and sort of over time kind of transition over to the other one. Now, what I think is going to happen is it's probably going to be something like a Von Gittin Jr. Situation where the RTR cars came out and then they were like, oh, here you have them in Motorsport and you have them in Horizon. You have both. You know, if you want to have both together, then that's perfectly doable. So I definitely think that the Motorsport side of things would be the logical place for that car to go. I mean, Chris Forsberg's 370Z is very well known in the drifting world, in the drifting community. For anybody that follows Formula Drift, it's a very, very well-known car. It's won multiple times. It's always a fan favorite, and whenever it's out there on the grid or on the track, like, for example, at Road Atlanta, I mean, having seen it in person myself, that car is loud. It's very, very, very just in your face, and it really kind of makes its, for lack of a better term, it really makes its intentions very easily known, and that's to win and to make as much smoke as possible while doing it. And it does a good job at all of those things. Now, I know that a lot of people they've lately been having a lot of opinions on this whole Formula D cars in Horizon thing, like, oh, why do we need more Formula D cars in Horizon? What's the point? Why are they here? And I think, for lack of a better explanation, I think there's nothing wrong with Formula D cars being in the Horizon games. I think they fit perfectly in the Motorsport games, but I think they also have a place here in Horizon as well. And there's some people, you know, that they're either in my comments or on Instagram or on Facebook that will go like, oh, well, why do these cars need to be here? They're not street legal. And to be honest, I mean, that's the whole point. Wouldn't you, like, don't you want to drive non-street legal cars on the street? I would love to, just to have a go in like a Radical on a mountain road. I mean, that would be insane, right? Just that one time to take, like, for example, a Formula D car out on a real road with no traffic. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? That's like a fantasy. That's a dream. And I think that the Horizon games let a lot of people live out those automotive dreams in, you know, in an open world format. And some people don't like the whole closed track thing. It just doesn't work for some people. I like both, and I think that both have their own their own place in this, you know, in this type of community, in this kind of a world. But I think that at the end of the day, it's important that we look at both sides of the spectrum and we look at both aspects here. Now, I think there's got to be something. There's something that's got to be said for the fact that this comment thread and this Instagram post has been live for 2 days as of when I'm posting this video, and Chris Forsberg has not deleted his comment. So I feel like if there was, you know, if Forza wanted him to delete that comment for some reason, or if he, like, you know, jumped the gun on announcing a car, then, you know, I feel like it would have been taken down already. So I don't know if that's an indication that it's coming super, super soon, or an indication that it's coming, you know, way further on down the line. But that's kind of up to you guys to kind of speculate on. I mean, I have my own ideas and speculations on this whole thing. I mean, I think considering the fact that he announced the car just so casually, it's almost like, oh yeah, it might be coming to the game someday. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like, oh yeah, it's coming to the game next month. So I don't think it's going to be in the game as soon as next month. I mean, we could see in the next Forza Monthly, they could be like, oh, hey, so by the way, Chris Forsberg's drift car is going to be in the game. But that is, I think, a little bit far-fetched to jump to as a conclusion as of right now. I think it's definitely important that we don't think that this is just going to come out like, you know, the day after tomorrow, because it's not. It definitely feels like something that is very, very possible, especially considering what all the other things, you know, that we've seen happen before are. But I also think that, you know, I think it's possible, but I also don't think like we should hold our breath for it to happen like, you know, next week or next month or whenever. I think it's probably at the very least a few months out. Now, I could be wrong on that, but my personal speculation and my own personal opinion is that it could be about a few months out, maybe 2, 3, 4 months at most. I don't think that he would be I don't think he would be talking about it if it was any more than like 4 or 5 months out. I mean, that wouldn't make sense. But, and also, I just wanted to clear up real quick, the car that I'm using in the video is actually a car that I used in a previous video. If you guys watched my last Horizon video with this white Mustang, you'll know exactly what it is. If you guys did not watch that video, basically this car makes just shy of 1,900 horsepower, and if you haven't unlocked an RTR Spec 5 for yourself, then make sure you go and watch my video on how to unlock it. It's a really, really fun car to drive, and like I said, you can get one of these swappable V8 engines up to almost 1,900 horsepower. It's like 1,876 horsepower with the addition of twin turbos. So make sure you go check that video out if you're not sure how to pick up one of these, because again, it's a very fun car to drive. It's an awesome package, and this is actually a personal project of mine. It's kind of like a Gymkhana car, unicorn, weird, like fusion type thing. Not Ford Fusion, different kind of fusion, but it's kind of weird because I don't normally like, you know, the all-wheel drive stuff, but I think this car, with this much power, you kind of have to have all-wheel drive to use the power to its full potential. And when I say use the power to its full potential, I mean, like, at this level, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. Wow. It wouldn't matter whether or not I had 800 horsepower or 1,800 horsepower. It would just blow the rear tires off regardless. So if I was going to build a rear-wheel drive drift car, I would have it like 7, 8, 900 horsepower. Now, 1,800 plus, I'm probably going to end up doing an all-wheel drive conversion, because I feel like at that point you're in a more controlled space with that, you know, with that kind of a setup, and you can do more stuff with it. You can apply it to more things, you can apply it to more scenarios, and you have a greater range of things you can actually do with it, rather than just blowing the tires off everywhere you go. And you can also, you know, do these slides at incredible speeds, way faster than a rear-wheel drive platform could, you know, and while accelerating while sliding. I mean, a rear-wheel drive car can accelerate a little bit while sliding, but nowhere near as much as one of these crazy all-wheel drive Gymkhana builds. So it's definitely a work-in-progress car, but it's a car that I really enjoy driving, and it's a car that I definitely think you guys should check out and get your hands on, because whether or not you want to build a rear-wheel drive drift car, an all-wheel drive like Gymkhana crazy car, or like some kind of drag car, it's definitely worth it to check out, because it has access to such a crazy engine swap and so much power. Now, jumping back to Chris Forsberg's car, if it's a car that you plan on using, let me know in the comment section below. I know there are a lot of people that really like that car, and there are definitely a lot of reasons to like that car. It's an awesome car. Now, if you've heard it in person, it's a little bit of an odd engine note. It's kind of, I don't want to say farty, because that's the wrong word, but it's almost like this weird, loud but muted at the same time kind of sound, and you almost have to hear it in person to know what I'm talking about. It doesn't really come across in video because not a lot of mics can kind of pick up that idea of what I'm talking about. But also, if you plan on going to Formula Drift in Atlanta this year, let me know in the comment section below, because I will most likely be there, and if a lot of you guys plan on being there, then I might get some sort of a meetup together. And also, something that I also wanted to, well, I said also twice, something that I wanted to touch on is the fact that the skills thing has stayed up throughout the entire video. And I don't know why. Like, while I was recording this gameplay, it just stayed up. It just stayed there. It literally just stayed there. And I have no idea why it did that. If anybody else has had that happen, again, I know I've got a lot of, like, calls to comment, but let me know in the comment section below if that's happened to you, because that's literally never, ever, ever happened to me before. And I don't know if it's an issue or if it's just a glitch or what exactly is going on. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this little supposed slip up from Chris Forsberg in relation to announcing that his car is coming to the Forza series. So hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is clicked, and make sure you are subscribed and following my Instagram and Twitter for other updates. So again, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.